Okay, guys, I think we have everybody. There was a bunch of people that kept joining late, so to avoid all the dings, I just waited till I felt like it trickled down a little bit. But welcome to chemistry. If you've not turned your camera on, please do. It makes me very happy in my heart space. Teaching black screens is just sad, especially when you like people. So thank you, Eden, for letting me know. We're starting off unit 5. We're kicking it off. So you guys' assignments are actually in the prior week's module. I know the new module is up, but please make sure you look at the prior week's modules for today's activities, okay? In terms of the question of the day, I figure we could start before we get into the science, just nice reset after a very stressful long week, right? Things went down, mistakes were made. It's fine, no one remembers. But we are going to start with, what is your favorite smell? This is one of my favorite questions to ask new people. I don't know, because it catches them so off guard, because although we know what kind of smells we like we've never asked each other this question usually, right? It's kind of like, that's odd. And it's wonderful to hear the answers. And some people are really opinionated. It blew my mind. So I'm going to use the wheel to pick a few people. Akshar, what's your favorite smell? Akshar. Not here. Hold on, I want to make sure I have the correct wheel up first. Open. Yeah, I did. Okay, wasn't me. Someone text him, tell him I missed him. Esty, what is your favorite smell?
Maybe, I don't know, like vanilla oranges, like vanilla and oranges.
Ooh, like dreamsicle, like the, oh, I loved those. That's what I always got from the ice cream truck. No, oh, love them. I totally understand that. It's like sweet and acidic and like, lovely. I'm on board with that train. I can get on board there. All right. Kai, what is your favorite smell?
I really like wassail. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's
Say it
like
again.
wassail.
No, I don't know what that is. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, it's like this drink. I usually have it on Christmas, so it reminds me of Christmas, and it's basically just like apple cider with a bunch of stuff in it, like cinnamon.
Ooh,
Things
apple
like
cider
that.
is one of my faves.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I make homemade apple cider every season. And when the first day it got cold, remember it got cold like a week and a half ago? I went to the store, got all my chili stuff and my apple cider stuff, and we made apple cider and chili because that's what you do when it's cold.
That sounds pretty great.
Yes, it's tradition. The first time it goes below 40, we make all the things. All right. Let's see. Carter, what is your favorite smell?
Probably popcorn.
Popcorn? Now, that's a sweet spot, because if you go too far, it becomes like a really awful smell, right? Oh, I like that. How do you like your popcorn? Anything weird to it, or you just like throw the bag in Dunskies?
I like a lot of butter.
You like a lot of butter. So I like doing like old school popping in the pan, where you put like the oil in the bottom and you pop the kernels and whatnot. And we put like butter, salt, and Cajun seasoning on ours. So it's all like, it makes me real happy. We also, a lot of times we'll do like the Parmesan and garlic salt and all that. It makes me happy in my weird spot. But surprisingly, my favorite brand of popcorn out of a bag is Kirkland, the Costco brand. They do a solid job and you get a bunch of it and it's amazing. All right. I'll do 2 more. Akshar, you're back now, right? So what, I called on you before you were here. What is your favorite smell?
Sorry about that. Cookies from the oven.
Cookies from the oven? Oh,
Yeah.
man. That sounds good. Now I want cookies. Like, do you have a favorite kind of cookie? What kind of cookies do you like?
Anything.
Anything? Okay, we're making, let's see. We make every year, we have obviously chocolate chips, a classic. We do the oatmeal raisin thing. And we make these little peanut butter and jelly cookies. So, like peanut butter cookie. And then I put the thumbprint and you put the jelly in it and you bake it like a little Knott's Berry cookie. And it's PBJ cookies. See, y'all making me hungry. I shouldn't ask this. Does anyone want to share theirs? Does anyone have one? They're just like, yes.
Well, I think mine would be a tie between coffee and wine.
Oh, coffee and wine. I hope your mom was giving you that wine, friend.
Not mixed, just like individually, but I
Although,
don't.
like, coffee and wine sounds really awful together. Not
Yeah.
that you guys know what wine tastes like if your mom didn't give it to you, but just saying, or dad or whoever. But I can see that. I can see that. There's certain like really dark red wines that smell really good. Really, really good. Okay. Anyone else want to share one?
I think my buddy Lucas Jabara, I feel like his cologne smells really good.
And what kind of cologne does he have? Do you know?
Huh? I don't know. It just smells really good.
Yeah, real talk. So I used to like 1 year.
Lucas, what's your cologne?
Yeah, Lucas, are you in here, dude? What's your cologne? What you got, friend? Are you in here? Lucas, there you are. Lucas, tell us about your cologne. We're getting oddly personal. Be okay.
I don't know what Ganesh is talking about.
That's even better.
He's going insane. He's losing it.
Uh-huh.
I can vouch. His cologne is awesome, dude. I'm telling you.
Maybe it's just your natural musk, dude. Maybe people are just like,
Yeah, probably.
oh, that's just it. That's so funny. Real talk. When my first year teaching, I went down to the middle school to teach Algebra 1 to the 8th grade students that were like doing okay because they didn't have enough teachers. And I had to have a real sit down conversation with them about how not to use Axe body spray because it was making me sick and I was pregnant. And I was like, dude, you gotta chill. Like, I already got things going on. So I had to explain like the purpose of cologne. It's like, you don't spray cologne so that the girl 500 feet away can smell you, because then she's gonna stay 500 feet away. You wear cologne so the person that comes within your 5-foot bubble smells it and has another reason to stay. Like, chill with the cologne, dude. So cologne theory, it's a real thing. Don't have to deal with that in virtual school now, but let's get to the science stuff. Thank you for the nice break from reality. I enjoyed all of your contributions. So let's begin with ionic naming. So one thing I got told by third period was we went through and we did like a Jeopardy game, but I did the Jeopardy game as like the lesson. And they were like, Miss, that's great and all, but I kind of still am struggling with why the Roman numeral is there and why these things kind of come together. So I restructured the lesson a little bit. So we're going to start with this interactive. I'm going to give you the link. So I'm going to copy and paste in the chat when I am done demoing it for you, because I want you to see how it works first. And I know y'all, if I put the link there, you're going to start clicking stuff. So you have the ionic compound. You have cations and anions here. Okay. So that kind of takes the knowing what charge it is out and kind of focuses on how we combine them. So this one wants us to do sodium chloride. So I know sodium, the first one written is always the cation. It also has no weird suffix on it. So I'm going to look for it in the cations and I'm going to look for the Na, which is sodium. Then I'm going to go to chloride. Okay. There is no chloride on the periodic table. There isn't. Which one is it? Why? Why is it like this? Magana, why is it like this?
Because it's an ion.
Yeah, because it's an ion. What kind of ion?
An anion.
Yeah, it's an anion, right? So we chop off the N and we add an "ide" to it, IDE. So anytime you see IDE, you should think anion. This is an atom that turned into an ion. There's only 3 exceptions to that, and they're on your polyatomic ion list. So at this point in time, if you do not have your reference packet out in front of you, I'm going to give you 10 seconds with my eyes closed to rectify that so you don't break my heart. 10, get your reference packet out in 9, 8, I'm going to peek, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, everyone has a reference packet. So there's 3 polyatomic ions that end in IDE. They're the only ones you have to know are the exception. Everything else is going to be ide. So hydroxide, cyanide, peroxide are the ones that end in IDE on your list. Everything else is going to be an atom. We're going to go to chlorine. So now I've added sodium and chlorine and I see, oh, there's 1 positive. Notice the electron is leaving. and I have one negative, there's a space for an electron to be received. Put them together and boom, that's a bond, okay? When I go to the next one, it's sodium oxide. So now I know sodium, but oxide is not on the periodic table, but ox looks a lot like oxygen. So that must be the anion oxygen. And when I bind these together, I may come up with a problem. This is how you're trying to go through and work this. So let me give you the link to everybody, not just one person like I just did on accident. Okay, there is the link. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. If you guys all update your Zooms, I will let you start choosing your own breakout rooms. But like last time I did this, over 30 people hadn't, and I had to manually assign them, and it was an awful experience. So update your Zoom so I can let you choose your room next class. Okay. Bum, bum. There we go. Breakout rooms are open. Go do the thing. Make sure you have the link open before you go. Okay, guys, just waiting on the last couple of people come back. I just told them to close the rooms. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of these together just to make sure you got it, and then we're gonna go to the next thing. Eva, how do I finish this problem?
You would add one more sodium
Okay,
and then you'd combine them.
so what would be the molecular formula for this guy?
Na2O.
Perfect. That's exactly right, because there's two Na positives in one O, so it's Na2O. Beautiful. Love it. Good job, girl. All right, next. U. Sodium hydroxide. How do I do it?
You put Na and then you put OH.
Yes. How'd you know hydroxide was this guy?
I guess.
You guessed, but if you didn't want to guess and you wanted to see, what could you look in?
The reference packet.
Yes, the reference packet. Reference packet, reference packet, reference packet, reference packet. You get a reference packet and you get a reference packet and everybody gets a reference packet, right? Everybody gets a reference packet. Use your reference packet. So we have a single positive, single negative. I drag them together. So the chemical formula would be NaOH. You would not write the charges. See? Boom. Done. Yep, this is what lie is, by the way, guys. L-Y-E, lie. Not like lying, like when you say something untruthful. That's just made up of shame. Okay, Victoria, Cope. Victoria C, are you here today? I know I had an email from you. Yeah. Okay. Aluminum phosphate. How do I do that one?
You take the Al+3 on the top,
Okay.
and then you take the PO4 -3.
Yep. And how did you know it was this one? How did you know this was phosphate?
Because it was the only one that had a P on it, and then it was -3, and that one was +3.
Yes. So I love the process of elimination. If you didn't want to guess with the process of elimination, where could you have looked?
The reference packet.
Yes, I know I say that like 10,000 times, but I guarantee you there'll be someone on the test who forgets and goes, oh, I forgot to use my reference packet and I picked the wrong one. And you're going to feel that moment because I'm going to remind you, like, I told you to use the reference packet. Okay. All right. Last one, and then we're moving on to something else. Aluminum oxide. Tell me what to do. Ray, what do I do?
You grab that one that you're hovering over.
Yeah, I
and
accidentally by habit. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And then you grab the oxygen at the bottom.
Okay.
First one, and then you connect that one.
Okay.
And then I think you grab another oxygen.
Okay.
And then aluminum again.
Yep. And then what?
And then grab another oxygen.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys, when we did this, we were talking about charge balancing and we're like, oh, you need 2 3 positives and 3 2 negatives so that it balances to 0. This shows how every electron goes to an atom, right? Like 2 of this aluminums went to this oxygen got 1 from each, and this oxygen got both of them from this guy. So this is how every electron that was given has a home. Good. What would be the, I'm going to ask someone else, right? Thank you so much for your help. Shanmathi, what would be the molecular formula for this guy?
8203.
A what?
8203.
So A doesn't have an element, right? That's why we use it in the ABE formula.
Oh, AL.
Yeah, AL. There we go. Yeah, use the atomic symbol. AL2, because there's two of them, O3. The numbers and the subscripts are not the charges. They are the number of each one. Okay, so we're going to shift gears and we're going to do this one. We're going to see if you understand. So this is a matching game and we're going to play it all together. You're not going to break out. You're going to hang out with me and I'm going to help you because this one has some of those polyatomic ions. And now we have some Roman numerals in the biz. What the biz are Roman numerals doing here? You already answered. Why did it pick you twice? Sonali, why do Roman numerals exist here? What is going on?
Is it because like the elements can have multiple charges?
Yes, if you go in the handy dandy reference packet, flip it open like Blue's Clues, and you look at the second periodic table with the oxidation states, you're going to see that those transition metals and the ones in 3P at the bottom have some variable oxidation states, which means they can hold different charges because that transition metal D block make things get funky after energy level 3, right? So sometimes we have to tell you what charge it is because if I have the molecular formula, I can math it out, right? If I have PbO and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, I know that oxygen is 2-, so that lead had to be 2+, right? But if it's written as words, we don't get to do that. They're just words. There's no numbers involved. It's scary. We don't know what it is. There's multiple options. So that Roman numeral tells you what the options are. So let's look at Renee, lead 2 nitride. Sorry, I don't know why I said nitrate. Lead 2 nitride. Renee, what charge does that lead have?
The lead has +2.
How did you know?
Because it's either +2 or +4 according to the reference packet, and it has a Roman numeral 2 next to it.
Yes. So the Roman numeral is the charge, not the number of lead atoms or ions, right? So a lot of people would see lead 2 and go, oh, Pb subscript 2. But remember that subscript is not the charge, right? That's the number of them that you need. So lead 2 nitride would pair with, and that was a very good explanation, Renee. Thank you very much. Celine, which one does lead 2 nitride pair with?
I'm not sure.
So what's the chemical symbol for lead, or the element symbol, or the atomic symbol? There's lots of names for this, right? Atomic symbol.
The PB3N2.
Yeah, so we found the PB, and we have the N. So let me ask you this. Let me go here. Why was it PB3N2?
Because the 3, when it was written out, corresponds to the Roman numerals.
Oh, wait. So we had PB3N2. We said that was lead 2 nitride. Talk me through the proof. How would I write that? So if I have lead and nitride, lead 2, what charge is that? What is this? Yep, 2+. And what does nitride have?
1.
Where's nitrogen on the periodic table? Because remember, nitride is nitrogen that became an anion. And it's like a superhero. Clark Kent took off his glasses and now he's nitride, pairing with cations everywhere he goes, right? It's really bad.
3.
Yes. So that's 3-. So we pair these up, we need them to add 0. So the number we're going for is 6. I need 3 2 positives and 2 3 negatives, which is why you see 3 here, 2 here. Just so we're tying everything back together, guys. It's all related. Okay. All right. Scale of 1 to 10, how we're feeling. I know Roman numerals are scary and weird. Yeah, buddy. Remember, if you don't want to tell the whole room how you're doing, if you're struggling, you can always hit me up privately, and that is totally okay. All right, next person. Bob. Who is this? Cu3n.
So copper 3 nitrogen.
So copper 3 nitrogen. So that would assume that
Or
this
nitride.
right. Okay. So couple things. Nitride is perfect. Copper is perfect. What does this 3 mean?
Would copper have the Roman numeral?
So copper
Oh, no,
is
because
going to have a Roman numeral, but in the molecular formula, pretend this is a subscript. They couldn't write them, right? So it's Cu subscript 3n. So what does that 3 mean?
So there'd be 3 atoms of copper.
There's 3 atoms of copper and 1 atom of nitride. So what does copper have to be? Let me help you out here. So this is where it gets weird. That's why I said it makes everything weird, and I fully understand that, okay? So you know that copper 3 nitride, you know that nitride is 3 minus. And for coppers, there's 3 of them. There's 3 coppers. Just kidding. I don't know. That's like old school 80s movie, whatever. So we have 3 minus. What does copper have to be for this to be able to balance?
It would have to have the 1 or
Yeah.
1 positive.
Right. Oh, yes. I can write, pretend that's a 1, guys. 1 plus. We have 1 plus, 1 plus, 1 plus. So that gives me 3 plus and 3 minus. Now they charge balance. So what is the known Roman numeral for copper?
1.
Yes, because it was the 1 plus version. Does that make more sense on why things are the way they are? All right. So this would be this one. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Bob. So Darshan, yes, you use the Roman numerals for transition metals, but you also use the Roman numerals for any metal that has multiple oxidation states, because you have to state which one you're using if multiple ones are possible. So bismuth and antimony, yes, even though they're not in that transition metal block, they're in those heavy metalloid areas that have properties of both, and they have multiple oxidation states. So anytime you see multiple oxidation states on your oxidation states table, you absolutely have to tell me what charge you used. Does that make more sense? Thank you for the very good and detailed question. Okay, last one of this. Charles, who is this? Actually,
I'm gonna go with copper phosphide.
Yes, copper, what phosphide?
Copper 1 phosphide.
How do you know which one, other than the fact there's only one left?
Yeah.
How do you know, why is that Roman numeral 1 there? What does that must mean?
I'm not totally sure.
Yes, I love when people say that. I genuinely love when people say that, because it means I have a job. Okay, so copper 1 phosphide. Okay, so you said Cu3P. It looks very similar to what we just did, right? Phosphide is a 3 minus, and there are 3 coppers. So for this to equal 0, what does each of these coppers have to be?
Positive.
Positive 1, right? There's 3 of them. So, oh, see, I did that again. What is wrong with my brain? Goodness gracious, someone give me a new brain. So, there we go. So we have 3 single charged coppers. So if we have copper and we have phosphide, okay, I can do this. Stop. Okay, and we have phosphide. What does the Roman numeral mean? What does that mean?
Does it define the charge of the
Absolutely.
copper in this situation.
Yes. Because what else could copper be? What are other options?
Could it be 2+?
Yeah, they're all listed on your periodic, your reference packet, but there's definitely other options there for copper. So if I have something written as words, like if I just said, okay, let me give you an example. I'm going to ask you guys to make a molecular formula. Give me iron oxide. Everyone try to make iron oxide in a molecular formula. Try real hard. Do all the trying. Someone hit the space bar when they tell me what the problem is. Free reign to hit the space bar when you figure out why I'm asking this.
Is it because iron can have two different charges and it doesn't define which one?
Yeah, what can we have iron as?
Is it 2+ or 3+?
And then what is oxygen always? So if we have Fe2+, our formula would be FeO. But if we had Fe3+, it'd be Fe2O3. Those are very different. Those are very, very, very different. So for me to tell you, I would say, okay, give me iron 2 oxide. You would know it was this guy. If I said iron 3 oxide, you would know it was this guy. Does that make more sense why the Roman numerals exist? You've got to tell me all the deets, right? That's like saying, hey guys, let's meet at the mall. And everyone goes, okay, and hangs up. And you didn't talk about the day or the time, right? Like way back when we wanted to meet our friends somewhere, we had to like talk about it at school, hope they remembered and show up and hope we didn't look stupid because there was no way to call them check, right? You got a lot more trust with your friends. So that would be like scheduling stuff before texting. Roman numerals are like, hey, there's a better way to do this. And now we double check and make sure we're in the right spot, right? So that's the idea. Okay, scale of 1 to 10 on where we're at with the Roman numerals. Okie dokie. Okay, now that we've gone over it, we can do some Jeopardy. Now, I had a different template that let me like give you guys points and stuff, but that template was really, really janky and kept deleting everyone's points and it became very frustrating. So we're gonna do this old school. But when you're submitting your answer, okay, everyone go to the chat and go where it says to select me, like privately right now. Okay. So Darshan, the version of iron is based on the abundance of that ion, kind of like percent abundance of isotope. So it's whatever's more present. Most iron you see is iron 3 oxide because that's rust. So there's different versions, but that's a nice question. All right. Once you have everything private, we are going to use the name wheel to see who gets to pick which one, right? And then you got to hit me up in the chat and I'm going to call you out, be like, yeah, you got it, or try this or whatever. And we're going to do it till we get most of the things right. And then we're going to reveal the answer and we're going to go to the next one. Okay. So hit me up privately in the chat with your answers. First one to pick their category. Milan, the wheel has chosen you, friend. Where do you want to go? And this is my tribute to Alex Trebek because my heart is sad. So sad. So sad. Milan. Did you leave me? No, you're here. Don't give me abandonment issues, Milan. Okay, honestly, maybe real basic. All right, real basic for what? You're good. Real basic for what number of points? 100. Give me the chemical formula of sodium hydroxide. Give me the chemical formula of sodium hydroxide. Hit me up in the chat with your guess, and I will call you out, and it's gonna be fun. Almost, Bob. You switched the letters up. Look at your polyatomic ion list. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, poke, poke. Faisal, you got it. Sonali, check. Celine, check. Milan, check. Trisha, check. Audrey, you're good. Shanmathi, take the charge off and you're good. Victoria, check your polyatomic ion list. Kai, check your polyatomic ion list. You mixed up the letters. You pulled a Bob. Maheen, you're good. Sangeet, you're good. Kiara, you don't need the charge. Snehal, you're good. Adhish, yes. You, yes. Maddie, take off the charge. Renee, you're good. Darshan, yes. Eva, check. Rajia, check. Megana, check. Victoria, check. Jim and check. Jessica, check. Izzy, check. Looking good. Let's see. Jonavi, you're good. Eden, you're good. Maddie, Evangelina, Carter, Bob, you just put the letters in the wrong order and then you're good, Bob. Dia, you're good. Okay, it looks like most everyone has it. So I am going to show you that it is NaOH. Sodium is the metal cation. We do not change the name. In terms of this is on your polyatomic ion list. If there is more than one non-metal, then it is a polyatomic ion and it is given to you, friend. Use that reference sheet. Hydroxide is one of the 3 polyatomic ions that does not follow the T rule. It has "ide" on the end, right? Cyanide, hydroxide, peroxide are the ones that you will have to look up. All other ides are anion atom things, singular non-metals, okay? So bonus question. This is not in this unit whatsoever. So we'll see. Remembers the 8th grade stupid star test. Hydroxide. Why is this category called real basic? Considering that it has hydroxide. You can just say it with the space bar. It's a bonus question. Hydroxide is part of water because it's H and OH. Yes, Bob, with the win. Hydroxides are bases, like acid-base chemistry. Sodium hydroxide is one of the most common bases, right? All about the base. So when we do acid-base and we're trying to like categorize them, I'll tell you, look for OH at the end of the molecule because they all about the base, which you know the song's talking about the booty. So NaOH, hydroxide, all about the base. Okay, so that's why this is called real basic. It didn't mean it was easier, so you fell for the trap. All right, next. Jonavi, where do you want to go? But hydroxide is hydrogen and hydroxide, which is why most acids have hydrogen in the front and most bases have hydroxide in the back, HOH. Formulas for 200. The chemical formula for potassium chloride, drop it in the chat when you're ready. Sia's got it. Darshan's got it. Oh, Darshan answered like Jeopardy in the form of a question. Oh, you get the Alex Trebek Award for the day. Sia, you got it. Victoria, you got it. Milan's got it. Maddie's got it. Got it. Everyone who submitted has it except, let's see. Renee, check your charges. Oh, I see you caught it before I said that. I'm just reading down. Yes. Potassium chloride is KCl because potassium is +1. Chloride is the -1 version of chlorine. And therefore, we have potassium chloride at a 1-to-1 ratio. Love it. Next, let's see who's picking. Audrey, where you want to go, girl? The Jeopardy board is your oyster.
Formula's 300?
Formulas for 300. The chemical name for FeCl2. Chemical name for FeCl2. Ooh, one person got it. You got to have the Roman numeral, guys. There we go. Sonali's got it. Maddie's got it. Wajia's got it. Jim has got it. Dia, I think you used ones instead of I's. It's supposed to be capital I's, not ones, but you had it. I think you just used the wrong character. Yeah. Bob, check your charges. The name is right, but the Roman numeral was wrong. There we go, Dia, you got it. Yeah, looks like everyone's coming in hot. Love it. All right, that is iron 2 chloride. So Audrey, since you picked the question, can you explain to me why it's iron 2 chloride? How did you figure that out?
Because there are 2 chloride. I don't know. I kind of just guessed, but like that made sense.
Well, yeah, there's 2 chlorides. So you were exactly right in the logic. Your inkling was right. Chlorine is what charge always? The chloride ion is what charge always?
I don't know.
So chlorine is in group 17. So is it easier for it to gain 1 electron or to lose 7?
Gain 1, it's 1 negative.
Right. So if it's 1 negative and there's 2 of them, what does Fe have to be? 2 positive. So that's iron 2 chloride because it has to have 2 positive charges to counteract perfectly the 2 negative charges of chlorine. So look at the one you know to determine the one you don't know. Okay, scale of 1 to 10, everybody, how that felt. That's the first time you've done it that direction. Yeah, we're getting it. Y'all are getting it. The Roman numerals are the hardest part. Covalent is so much easier. So we're doing the hard stuff first because we moonshot this, right? Do the hard things first, see where the problems are, and then everything else feels easier. All right. Next person, we'll do 2 more. Faisal, where you want? What you got?
Let's do real basic 300.
Real basic. The chemical name of, oh man, I almost said it. I do that so often because my brain reads it like the words. Whew, what's the chemical name of that? That was scary. There we go. Kai's got it. Maddie's got it. Darshan, you're close. You're mixing covalent naming and ionic naming on that one. Got it. Trisha, Megana, Sonali, Victoria, Dia, Sneha, Adhish. Essie, I'm going to come back to you because you also got it, but I want to explain why the 2 are both accepted. Okay, C, zinc hydroxide. Okay, zinc hydroxide. Yes, I love that you've done Spanish. It's funny. Bonus points if someone does it in Chinese. Oh, no, come back. What was that one? This one? No, come back. Where did it go? What was it? It was real basic, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. So it was zinc hydroxide. Now, Esty, you put zinc 2 hydroxide. Tell me why you did that. Right, you're Chinese. Yeah, I used to teach at a Chinese international school, so I have a very basic functioning of Chinese, enough to like know enough words to make you think I know Chinese, and then I don't know anything. But that's about where I'm at with Chinese. Go ahead, Esty.
I saw the 2, so I guess I just kind of automatically thought that like that would be 2 hydroxide.
Right. So here's where that is correct. Okay. In your notes, Mr. Haram told you that zinc is 2+, and it's one of the few transition metals with only 1 charge. Now, I teach IB. We all know this, right? IB, like the whatever. It was recently found that there is also a zinc 1+ species, although it is not commonly accepted. So in IB, they want you to use the Roman numeral because they want to keep up with like stuff that came out in the past year, right? But normally on your test for pre-AP, don't. And this is one of those cases where if you Google it, you would have gotten it wrong in terms of the test. I want you guys to use the reference packet as they wrote it because they wrote it with the reference packet. Does that make sense? But if you Google it, you will see there is a 1+ species that was recently whatever. I just want you guys to be aware. So this is where I tell you, Google doesn't always help you. Okay. So, dun, dun, dun. All right, we'll do one more. Let's see. Who did it pick? It's like, oh, it crashed. It picked nobody. I'm not sure what that is in Chinese, but did you just write zinc hydroxide in Chinese? That's amazing. Samir, there it goes. It crashed for half a second. Samir, which one you want, friend?
Samir actually told me that his Wi-Fi recently was having problems, but he also said that he would love Hodgepodge 500.
Hodgepodge for 500, just because it says hodgepodge, right? I love that word. It's so great.
It's possible.
It is possible, right? All right. Number of oxygen atoms in beryllium acetate. Oh, next level. Number of oxygen atoms in beryllium acetate. This one's going to be tricky. Watch out for the trap. So I see people giving me 2 and people giving me 4. Anyone feel brave and want to talk through it and say which one it is?
Well, I thought that because beryllium had a 2+ charge, that there would be 2 acetates to make 2-, and then that would cancel out. So then 2 oxygen atoms in 1 acetate times 2 would be 4.
That is true. So beryllium is 2+. Acetate had that 8 on the back, right? Has that TE going on. ITE, ATE, ETE. Give me polyatomic ions. I would say CH3COO-. That's a single minus. Beryllium is 2+. So then you would have Be parenthesis CH3COO parenthesis times 2. So there's 2 oxygen atoms twice. Okay, so that would be 4. Now, fun fact, acetate is what the anion component of acetic acid, which is vinegar, which you eat all the time, white vinegar, or you use it to clean. So that's what that is. Get it? So I want to give you guys plenty of time to work on stuff. And just to clarify, because again, you guys are the weird B-Day. So the B-Day on the Monday, you have to go to the week of November 2nd. And you are going here. See, it's all the way down. It's even confusing. Here we go. I want you guys to work on the flashcards and do the naming ionic compound activities, okay? The way I structure the modules is because QC 5.1 had some covalent in it, okay? So I didn't want you guys to do it until after next class. So next class, we'll be doing the identifying substance and naming covalent. And then as homework, you'll do QC 5.1. I know it's different than the learning plan, but I had too many kids complain. I just don't even want to deal with it. Like it was justified complaining, to be clear. But I'm just going to give you guys the wait till I know you've seen the covalent videos. Do QC 5.1. Then the next class will be QC 5.2. So you guys all need to take this module and go boop and only look at this one for today. Okay. Acetate is in the reference packet, Dia. Yes, anything that's not on the periodic table we ask you about will be in your reference packet. We don't give you things outside of the reference packet. in pre-AP. Now, if you go to AP or IB, it's fair game. And yes, Maheen, you're good. We've already talked. You are good to go. All right, guys. Are there any other questions?
So on the notes, what is the difference between the OH, which is the hydroxide? Because I thought that Mr. Harridan said that when you have H2O, that's where you do the prefixes, and I thought that that was named
Oh yeah, okay, so
hydroxide.
that's covalent, purely covalent, because those are all nonmetals, and then it's dihydrogen monoxide. But if it has any ionic relationship at all, so the thing about polyatomic ions that makes things real weird is that it's layers, like an onion. They're very Shrekish, okay? So they come together in a way that form a charge, and that charge attracts a metal. So the covalent bond forms a charge that creates an ionic bond. So like on the test when it was like, which one has a covalent bond and an ionic bond? That was Mr. Harridan being real mean. So you have the nonmetals and the metal all binding together in the ionic. But when the nonmetals themselves are together, that's different. That's covalent. And we're doing that next class, 48 hours, friend. ... Put a pin in it. 48 hours. Okay. Awesome. Any other questions? Yes, SD, you're always welcome to stay after and ask questions if you like, or come to tutoring. Remember, there's tutoring every day with every teacher. I am doing Thursday afternoon and Friday morning if you want to wait for me, or if you want to hit me up during an 8th period, you can schedule that if you hit me up ahead of time. I just have to know because I schedule meetings with parents during that. So as long as I'm not meeting with a parent, I can meet with you. Can't do both at the same time. That'd just be awkward. All right. Any other questions? All right, if you are done with questions, you are free to go. I will see you in 48 hours for that covalent acid, all about that base.
Thank you.
No problem.